All right, guys, today we're going to start our unit on Southwest and Central Asia by mapping the physical features and the political boundaries of this part of the world. So the part of the world we're looking at is going to be here. Here's Southwest Asia, and here is Central Asia. So we have Africa, we have Europe up here, and Asia's, well, this whole region right here. Typically, when we talk about this part of the world, you hear people call it the Middle East. Geographers are a little more specific in their terminology of how we talk about regions. So geographers call it Southwest and Central Asia. We're going to be using that term, but just know it's the part of the world where we say Middle East. So right here. The way you are going to map this part of the world is you'll go to step 2 in Google Classroom, and you'll open up this document. So this document, it is up to you if you want to do it digitally and just type in your answers, or if you would rather print it out and do it on paper, a physical copy. That is up to you. I know it's really dependent on your resources. If you have a printer, feel free to use it. If not, you can still do this in Google Classroom. So we're starting off with the physical features. I am going to use my knowledge of absolute location using latitude and longitude to label the following physical features for this map. I'll walk you through with the arrow C. I'm going to use latitude, so these horizontal lines, and longitude, these somewhat vertical lines, to help me find these locations. So starting off with the arrow C, I need to find 45 degrees north and 60 degrees east. So I see right here, I have 40 degrees north right here, 50 degrees north right here. So I'm going to kind of go in between, halfway, 45, roughly here. And so I'm working along this line. You could probably guess already where we're at, but I'm going to walk you through it just to make sure you remember absolute location. So this is going to be the imaginary line I'm looking at. And then for my latitude line, then I need to find my longitude of 60 degrees east. So I have them up here, 30, 40, 50, 60 degrees east. How convenient. It's an approximation. I'm going to go down. 60 degrees east is going to go this way. 45 degrees, we remember, is halfway here. So, as you've probably figured out way before now, I'm going to label the arrow C where this arrow is on number 2. So I'm going to scroll down, label arrow C. So the arrow C on maps is going to vary what it looks like. Just a side note, sometimes you see it pretty filled in like this. Other times you see it as what looks like 3 separate lakes. The reason for that is this weird feature. It is a very arid area in Southwest Asia. So the arrow C sometimes looks like this, where it's pretty empty. Other times it's filled in like what you have on your map. It is a C that completely disappears depending on the time of the year. So you're going to keep going through step by step. I've already done the arrow C, so I might bold it or something just to know I'm done with it. Keep going through. All right, so after you fill in the physical features of Southwest and Central Asia, you're going to scroll down to page 3. And page 3 is using map reading skills, using a map in your textbook to label the political boundaries of Southwest and Central Asia. So I am going to use the map called Political Boundaries of Southwest and Central Asia in my textbook. So your textbook, online textbook, is going to look a little different than mine. I'm going to go on the left here, scroll down, click on References, or Reference. In the Reference section, I'm then going to click on Maps. I'm going to scroll down. So many maps. Keep on scrolling. till I see political boundaries of Southwest and Central Asia. Awesome, so it's pretty large. So I can now flip back and forth and label. So country 20, right here, is Kazakhstan. So I'm going to write Kazakhstan right here. I personally don't like flipping back and forth like this. So what I like to do is pull one tab out, grab it up at the top, and do what we kind of snap it over to the right. I didn't make that up, but I'm going to drag it all the way to the side till I see that imaginary box. Let go. And then I'm going to put in the other half, I'm going to click right here. And then I have them side by side. Let me get rid of that side one. This map is still pretty large, but at least I can kind of scroll back and forth. I know Kazakhstan is going to be 20, Uzbekistan is 19, so I can label them down here. Get all the countries in that way. That is all I'm going to have you do for today. Make sure you take your time reviewing the absolute location, latitude, and longitude. It is a skill that's really important to have. It can be easy to kind of get rusty on that skill. So just make sure you're going through that practice as best you can. I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you on Thursday. Bye, guys.